Hey guys, Shawn Ziem, the Connection Machine, aka the Insurance Doctor, and the host for the Webtalk Legends Podcast. We are where we bring guests on that will share their story, talk about trials and tribulations, things that have happened in their past, business, family, life, talk about different topics like mindset and personal development, health. And I would love and we hope that you take some action and implement some of the ideas, strategies, and tips that we talk about in our conversation. Little housekeeping. If you're watching live, drop a hashtag live on the replay, hashtag replay. Drop any questions you might have. And also for those overachievers, please drop a comment where you're watching from. And at the end, please share this. I want to, before we get and bring our guest on, I want you to take a look at something I am very highly recommend everyone look at is Got Backup. It's for your data, for your phone, computers, 6 terabytes for $9.97 a month. You have the ability for 6 different devices or people involved on the plan. And it's better than iCloud, Google Drive, and Dropbox, which only gives you 2 terabytes for that $9.99 price. So you get 6 for $9.97, and you have the ability to back up everything. You can do a variety of opportunities. Again, I wouldn't recommend the personal. Go for the family plan, make it happen, and have enough backup for everything else in your life. Let me bring on my next guest. I'm going to bring him in. We have Matt Rahn. What's up, man? How are you?
Hey, Shawn, thanks for having me on today.
Thanks for joining us. I appreciate, each and every person that comes in. I know time is limited, but we're all about providing value, and that's what the goal is today, and share as much as we can so we could help other people out there. So before we get into it, Matt, who are you and what do you do?
I guess I'm one of those people that's a self-starter, if you want to call it that. I started my business with not too much background on what I was getting myself into or backing, and kind of just me and a pickup truck, and we've grown it now, and we've been able to acquire some other companies. So right now, I'm president of the Rahn Companies. We have a landscape company. We do commercial landscape maintenance and construction. We have a contracting company where we do site work, concrete, asphalt. We specialize in doing commercial property maintenance, and we do a lot of land development work for builders and developers.
Damn, that's a lot, man. I like what you
Yeah.
said as far as a self-starter. Can you take us back? You said with just a pickup. What were you doing before you made and got involved with what you're doing today? What was some of the lead up? And then let's talk about from when you get that pickup and this start company.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess I got a good story for that to start. Like, out of high school, I started as a laborer, and my mom was the one like, "You can't work construction. You need to go to college." All this stuff, and like, I just worked as a laborer because I enjoyed it. My friend's dad was in it, and he started teaching me how to read blueprints, and I started catching on to like more of the technical aspects, and then I got in a motorcycle accident, broke both my legs, and I was like, couldn't work anymore. I was on light duty, and they put me in the office like temporarily. And I started teaching myself how to read blueprints even more, and like learning how the estimators bid jobs. So at the end of the 6 months, they're like, "Oh, we're just going to keep you in the office now. You're not going to go back out in the field." And most people, I guess, looking back, I should have been excited, but I was like, "No, I can't sit in this office no more. Like, I'm going crazy. I need to get back out there." But they kind of like talked me into it. It was obviously a lot more pay, a lot more opportunity. So I stuck with that and kind of learned a lot there, and became a project manager and ran some pretty big projects. And then I had a friend that had a construction company doing asphalt work, and I started doing some estimates on the side for him at nights and on weekends, and like looking at bigger jobs. And then he started getting so much work after a year or so that he was like, "Oh, you got to come work with me." So we tried to form like a partnership agreement, and I went to work with him and did that for a few years. It didn't really work out. So I was like, "What do I do now?" I wasn't really sure. And I was like, I'm going to try and just start my own business. And honestly, I had no business doing that because I didn't know anything about what it was going to take. But I just took some contacts that I knew and some things I knew how to do, and um, figured out who I should try and go after or pursue, and got started, and got one or two jobs, and then slowly started adding more and more, and then eventually we became pretty successful at it, and we had the opportunity to grow into the landscape business as well, because a lot of our customers had that need. And we were able to, go out and identify some landscape companies that had been in business for 25, 30 years. And we were able to work out a deal to purchase them and incorporate them into our umbrella of what we offer.
Man, that's fantastic. And you took time. You actually learned as you were going through different steps of your career. It was something that a lot of people don't take the time to reflect and actually instill new skills and actually apply them. So it's awesome that you were doing that. And also your networking, using your network, guys, those that are watching, if you're not using who you know to help you, whatever business you're in, you're an idiot, because you have opportunities everywhere. And having different conversations led to different businesses that Matt has now, from landscaping, the property management, to the construction. All of those kind of go hand in hand, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're all within, I guess, the same field or realm of work, and it's good for our customers. They have one point of contact, so it works all the way around. Yeah, and I think, like you said, if you can develop a good network, if you can put your name out there as a good brand and establish that, you're somebody reputable that people can work with and rely on, that helps, clear the path as to what's the next opportunity going to be for you. I think a lot of people maybe get stuck on that because they get so worried about like what the next thing's going to be before they have what it is that they're doing fine-tuned or honed in, and that leaves room for error, and then you end up hurting your brand or your reputation more than you're actually growing it. And I know I made some of those mistakes, that the pace at which we grew and the lack of knowledge that I had, I was trying to just learn on the fly and keep up. And I've made a lot of mistakes. If I could go back and do it differently, but I've also learned a lot from those mistakes.
That's how you become successful, guys. You have to make mistakes. The more mistakes you make, the more you're going to learn from, and you're not going to have those mistakes happen again, because you were hopefully learned from it the first time, and it has you grow. I like what Matt said as far as your personal brand. I haven't had too many guests that actually used the background. And I love how you have your brand in the background in our podcast here. The brand is everything. It's something that you wear shirts, hats, what have you, because anywhere you go could be a conversation, and you got to be proud. What is it says, Ron, it says, we make it
happen. So our customers, a lot of times they have a need or like an emergency situation, but we want to be like that one source that they can rely on, and whatever they need, we make sure we take care of it for them.
And he's not somebody who's going to bend you over backwards and like rape the hell out of you for fees. It's going to be a service that you're going to get paid for that's reasonable. And it's something that, yes, we should be there for our clients, for our prospects, for anyone, family, friends. Help them. Listen to any issues that they have and be that solution to the problem. And I think that's powerful.
Yeah, our business is built on service. We talk about that a lot. Like, anybody could cut our clients' grass, anybody could patch their parking lot, but we want to do it in a way that serves them and their customer base without being an interruption. So I think that's, important to differentiate yourself from the other people in your industry and find out what it is that you can offer that the others aren't, or what it is that you can claim to be good at, and make sure that you're standing up to that claim.
So outside of work, where would we find, what's Matt doing if you didn't have to work today? What is there some things you'd be involved in?
I don't know. I guess I like to work a lot. I stay pretty busy. Outside of my, main businesses here, I guess I invest in real estate. I enjoy doing that. So you probably find me like crawling through old houses, like looking at what can we do with this? How can we fix it up? Or you might find me, I guess, out on my boat. I enjoy like being on the water, being at the beach. I go to Florida a lot. We have some properties in Florida, so I definitely enjoy the beach life.
Talk about the boat. I had a boat in the past, and people don't realize I had a brand new boat. Nobody wants to help pay for it either. It's like, it's a money pit. It's a complete money pit. You got to pay for it, take it in and out and everything else. But it's a lot of fun, though. I like fishing when I had the boat. What are some things that you can share about what type of boat do you have, and do you do a lot of fishing?
Yeah, so I've always like had a dream to have a boat when I was like younger, and like we could never afford it or whatever. So then like when I got to the point where I could buy a boat, it was like a big deal. So we bought this brand new pontoon boat. It was like 24 foot, held like 14 people. My daughter's like 2 years old, so like we're out here in the bay and like all these people on there, and my wife, she's just like having a nervous breakdown with the baby on the boat, and the waves are splashing everywhere. I'm like, oh no, this is not not what we planned at all. So then I was like, all right, I'm just gonna get rid of the pontoon boat next year, and I'm gonna get a fishing boat because me and my friends are gonna go out fishing all the time. So I get rid of pontoon boat, buy this fishing boat, and we took it out like 2 or 3 times, and then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take it to our house in Florida because we have like a dock there, and I'm like, I'm gonna leave it in Florida. On the weekends I can fly down there and take it out. So I drive it all the way to Florida, pay to put it in the water there. I fly down there like 2 or 3 times and use it, and that's it. So the same thing, brand new boat. I've had it for 2.5 years now. It's probably got 20 hours on it.
It's like you want it and you get it, and it's like, okay, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you shared you're a dad, and there's a lot of dads that watch this, and I know mental health is a big thing. And how do you deal with being a dad, one with your mental health though? Like how can we help those that are having those struggling days? They have those days that they don't want to get up in the morning. They have those frustrations in life. How do we help them?
I mean, I guess there's multiple things for me. Like personally, I guess, a lot of what my why is or what my reason is being a dad. So I know for each person that's a different journey. For me, I feel like it comes pretty naturally. So like I'm motivated to do good for them. I think other people are too, but maybe not as strong or in a different way. And not everybody was really raised or taught in an environment maybe where they had that model to them. So getting in community, networking, not only for like business, but networking for people that are dads that you want to model or are in a good family situation or whatever that might be, people at your church groups, things like that, I think really has a lot of value that people maybe overlook or don't appreciate sometimes. And there's definitely a lot of importance in when you're in business, I guess, of making sure you're really putting that time back to your family and that it's focus time where you're not disrupted or not present. I know that's like a big term people like to use now, but I mean, it's true. I'm sure we're all guilty of it. My daughter's favorite thing is like, get off your phone, Dad, get off your phone and play with me. And like every time she says it, I cringe because I feel like so bad, but at the same time, it's like second nature. I don't even notice I'm doing it.
Yeah, man, it's like a lot of people always want to work to make that money, but the money you're never around if you are doing it a certain way because you're really hyper focused and you're forgetting about your kids, and your kids won't care about the money. They care about dad's not around at certain points. And that's important for me is I want to be around my girls and my son. I want to be at everything that they could be, involved in. I want to show up and be there and be present. Like you said, try to keep this. I try to keep that away. When I'm with them, it's 100%, rolling around. I'm trying to say my goal with being healthy is keep myself, have the ability to still beat them in games, in sports while I get older. That's a key thing. I want to be, people are like, that's messed up. Like, no, I want to be like, damn, dad is like, that's your dad or that's grandpa. That's why I work out the way I work out to keep myself healthy so that I can still compete when I get older. How important is health for you?
Yeah, definitely. That's important for me. That's something I think about. Not only do you want to be able to compete with them, but you don't want to be a burden to them, or you want to be able to participate in their lives. Like you said, as you become older, you become a grandfather or whatever. Like you want to be able to take them on vacation and enjoy it, not be the grandmom in the electric wheelchair lagging behind or whatever. Like limited on what you can participate in.
It's definitely something that keeps me driven. I like you said, whys. That's a very important thing that those who are watching, you have to find. Once you figure out your whys, life changes for you. It's where you now have a different fire. So it must be you're reading, or you've been, you've been doing some kind of mentoring. You've had some kind of education on personal development.
Yeah, I guess you could say I'm pretty big into personal development. I've done a range of things from business coaches to, I don't know what you would call them, life coaches, counselors, a blend of something in between. Definitely different networking groups, podcasts,
Yep.
books. I mean, there's a wealth of things out there if you really look for it. But I think the biggest thing is like being part of the community. And like I'm in one group that's like a self-improvement group, and the people in that group are all committed to the same journey. So it keeps you motivated, gets you open to new ideas, things that are out there. And like, it's just always keeping you going with other people that are interested in improving themselves.
Hold you accountable. That's a big thing too, is a lot of people are involved in things and they do it for a short period of time. They don't have some kind of success in their eyes and they quit. And I appreciate hearing what you're saying as far as you tried, you failed, you tried, you failed. And that's what I like to hear is we learn when we fail. That's how we grow. And we got to deal with those adversities that come up. You know, my one daughter had a liver transplant at 4 months old. You know, we're coming on the 5th year anniversary. She's doing fantastic. She's healthy, everything else. And I share that journey on purpose because people need to know people go through things you don't even realize. And I'm all about small business owners. It's like, why would you not want to work with me? I'm sharing what I'm doing. I'm a small business owner. Help us out. Don't go to the big box stores. Don't go to big box companies. Help the small people because they have a family. They're going, they have their whys, and they're always focused on the future. And that's where I'm all about small business owners and helping them, connecting them, making sure that we all grow together. That's a powerful thing to do.
Yeah, I think a lot of people overlook. There's a statistic too. I think small business employs the biggest percentage of American workers. You think it's the big companies, but no, it's all the little small businesses overall that employ a larger percentage of American workers. So without small business, there's less employment opportunities.
And they're local, and you want to support the ones that are on the front lines, and they're employing other individuals as well. Sometimes you're growing. That's a powerful thing. And going back to your health, making sure you are healthy so you can have the long term. You can be around for a long time. You can have the energy to do your business and keep up with your kids. That's a very important thing. I like how you're involved with podcasting. You took time out of your day to come on with me. Are you using social media and video personally and for your business?
Yes. So we have a videographer that comes like onto our job sites, shoots, our guys working in action, interviews me, we talk about it. So in 30 seconds, our customers can get a good idea on exactly what it is we offer and what it is about it that we do well.
It's a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer to have somebody follow you, video you, talk, educate. If you're a small business owner, no matter what you do, you should be doing it. And it's like it's showing proof of what kind of jobs you can do, what kind of service you're going to provide. If you're going to say and do what you say, you can prove it. That's why I just did a video that it's going out in a couple of days about selfie. You should always selfie with people. And people are like, why? Because you prove that you were actually meeting that person. And now it opens up an interest with that person. So if we were me and you were together right now, do a selfie, your friends would be like, who the hell is this Shawn guy? And my friends, who's this Matt guy? And it's an intrigue that now opens up, and they look at your profile. They're going to see if they want to do business with you or know you or like you. And maybe they have similar interests. Doing this, what we're doing now, interviewing other people in your town, huge. But people are like, oh, I don't have time to do a podcast. Everyone has time. You have 30 minutes, 15, 30, 45. I wouldn't go longer, but just provide some value and teach people and share. It's powerful stuff.
Yeah, no, there's definitely, a lot of power in using social media as a tool and not as a consumption. I feel like a lot of people cross that line and it becomes more of a distraction than the benefit that they could get out of it. So I think having a dedicated plan on how to utilize it, utilizing it for that purpose and trying to keep it away from being a distraction is important.
I like that. Yeah, the distraction and the consumption, if we could lower that and actually use it to help other people, like and comment other people, share other people's content, learn what other people are doing, it's definitely going to change the way instead of wasting your time, because I think social media is great, but you get entrapped. You'll be in there for periods of time. It's like, wait a minute, I have a focus and I go in for a period of time and I get out. I'm not there sucked in. I'm not playing games and all that stuff that some people get involved in. But I appreciate you coming on here. Any final thoughts you can share with us in business, self-development, marketing, video, social media that we help those that are out there?
I guess I would say marketing, social media. I know a lot of people are afraid to be on the camera, afraid to make a video. Like, you just have to keep it simple. As simple as you mentioned, taking a selfie when you're at an event, take a picture of the sign at the event, tag the event. It's really simple. You just have to be consistent with putting yourself out there, and then you'll start to see people will recognize you or bring it up when you meet them at events. Like, oh, I saw this or I saw that. People that you didn't even know you maybe were connected to will start to say that they saw your content. And it doesn't need to be perfect. Like, people want to see that you're a real person. They know that nobody's perfect. And the more that they can see that, maybe you make little mistakes or have your own quirks, you feel human and they want to interact with you more because they feel less on guard or more comfortable. So get over your fear right now. Take a little video, tell everybody who you are, what you do, and you know what I mean? Post once a week, whatever it is that you're comfortable with, but get consistent with posting.
Dude, that was well said. I 100% agree. The consistency is needed. The more you do, pick a day, like pick once a week, like Matt was saying, do it once a week. I did that in 2018. I started once a week. It was 4 weeks in a row. And I just started doing, now I do video constantly throughout my day, et cetera. I podcast, do all kinds of video conversations on Video Messenger. It's powerful. Get involved, guys. Meet and connect with Matt. All his contact information, all his information is in the description of this video. Definitely reach out to him. Mention this podcast. Mention that you would love to connect with him. It could be for landscaping. It could be for business, property management. It could be for construction, or just to get to know who he is. So maybe you can collaborate on a future business endeavor, et cetera. So, Matt, thanks so much for joining us today. And I appreciate you. Definitely, this is the start of our relationship. And everyone else, we hope you have an awesome rest of your day.
Thanks, Shawn. Thank you, everyone.